Welcome to Inquiry into Self. One of the things that keeps us from joy is a habitual way that we view the world that usually started as a child and we aren't even aware of it. It's the lens that we're seeing through all the time. So for example, think to yourself, what was your favorite storybook when you were little? What was the book you read over and over, you had memorized before you even knew how to read? And what did that story portray about the world? And how does that continue to impact your life? So for example, the story that I read was The Little Red Hen. And this story tells about how she asked for help. Nobody would help her in raising her grain of wheat. She asked for help. Nobody would help her in turning it into flour, turning it into bread. And each time, nobody would help until she said, now it's time to eat the bread, and then everybody wanted to help. So what does that story tell? That I have to do it all by myself, right? And yes, lo and behold, my perspective of the world was that I had to do it all by myself. But it turns out everyone is on my side. So I actually went and took the book, but I put new pages inside of the book. And now, instead, when everybody is saying, not I, it turns out that she does get help. Look, there's a shovel. How did this shovel turn out to be available for her? And I add in the whole story about how she happened to have the shovel. And again, she continues to ask for help. And where does she get help from? The wind helps her as she's sifting the chaff off of the wheat. And I continue with this story where over and over when she asks for help, even though people are not saying yes, her friends are not saying yes, she has a recipe that her mom gave her. Over and over, it turns out, help is coming from unexpected places. And then at the end, when she asks, it's time to make the bread, to eat the bread, she is happy to have her friends join her because she's felt supported all along. So whatever the story is for you, whatever it is that has you looking at the world differently, I don't know what your story was, but you can notice how has it influenced how you act in the world, what you expect of others, what you expect for yourself, what you think is a good life. How did that story affect you? And were there any assumptions in there that it's time to question, time to challenge, time to look a little deeper? Maybe the things that we thought were not on our side are on our side. Maybe there is support where we didn't know. Maybe there's goodness where we don't know. So this is just an invitation for you to just take a look and see where can you rewrite that story and change the lens through which you see the world. Maybe your manager is actually trying to help you, but your lens is not allowing you to see that. Maybe your neighbor actually does want a good neighborhood too, but your lens is not able to let you see that. Maybe your children want to have a happy home too. So once you rewrite the story, it's amazing how many places you can see that you have partnership where you might not have seen it before. So enjoy discovering the new story.